4 of the Beast Mode Boxing Podcast. What's good? We're gonna like cover quite a number of different points, particularly the pound for pound current list and our opinions on it. But before that, just to expand on May and what happened in May. Obviously, HAYE BELLEW was the big talking point.
Pick up where we left off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know?
What did everyone think?
Can we delete some of the material from previous podcasts?
That would benefit me.
that would really help. Chooks,
I'm
well
good.
done.
I'm
Do you know
good.
what, Chooks, well done.
I'm good. I'm
Chooks,
good.
well done. That was so accurate.
I'm good, man.
How you feeling, Chooks?
Listen, man. The eye test, man. It's never wrong. It's never wrong.
What do you think for the fight overall? Like,
It just went exactly how I thought.
Yeah.
Literally
Literally
to a T. So
Yeah.
you know, big up BELLEW.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah,
I got to
you
say
done
on it, man. And I hope David HAYE calls it a day, because nobody wants to see that that stuff again.
No,
What do you want to
definitely
see from BELLEW like next? Because obviously he's just won that fight. He's talking about staying there. He's talking about fighting Fury. So I don't know if that's
If he
realistic.
can get it, do it.
Has he
No,
said
like
that?
he's
He actually said that.
not. Something.
Yeah,
Out of his
well,
own
they've had a
mouth.
back and forth
Yeah,
on
a few
it.
times.
Well,
They've had a
boy,
few-
if he's saying, I haven't seen him
Mean
say it,
it?
but if he's saying it and he believes it, go for
Yeah.
it, man. Get that money. That's what BELLEW's about right now.
Yeah.
You know.
According to HAYE,
Actually, yeah, I saw
Hearn-
he said he wanted to punch him in the face, didn't he?
Yeah, and Hearn said that when Fury was making his way back, they had an agreement. that
Oh, he
Fury
shook
was
hands
gonna-
on the
Yeah,
fight
that
or
they
something,
wanna
man.
fight.
Yeah.
That's
I saw that.
that's an
Yeah.
easy fight to sell to the public.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
Major
some
fight.
big change. So
Yeah.
yeah, let him do it, man. He showed like very nice boxing skills. It was his opponent was whatever, but I was very impressed with how BELLEW dealt with him.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
too profesh.
Yeah.
Too
was clean.
profesh. Clear. Clean is the word. So
Everyone in
Hey,
agreement with
I don't want to
HAYE,
talk
like-
about it no more.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Like-
Let's be.
I
Let's
said
be
it, man. I mean, my prediction was came with a disclaimer. It is dependent on what David HAYE shows up on that night on May the 5th, and the David HAYE that showed up was just washed
worse
up.
than the last time.
Yeah, it's a man that's in it for the money. His best days are far behind him. I don't want to kick a man when he's down, but I expect a retirement announcement very soon because he's, I don't want to see that. I mean, if I don't want to take away from BELLEW, he beat the man that was in front. Even BELLEW, I think, was sort of like disappointed because he even said, I think he said something in the post-fight press conference where he said, I was thinking about retiring. I was hoping for a war tonight. I was hoping HAYE would beat the fight out of me and I could retire. But I don't feel like that's happened. I want to go again. And, I think that sums it up. HAYE didn't really do what...
and BELLEW weren't good. He was going through things.
Yeah, he had stuff on his mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even HAYE, I think everyone knows he's washed up. Like, it seems like there's been an intervention from the whole British boxing community telling him to retire. Like George Groves made a heartfelt sort of post on his Instagram telling him to retire and call it a day. BELLEW pleaded with him to retire after the fight and call it a day. Adam Booth's come out and said he should retire. Everyone's saying retire because they know he's probably in it for the money and he's putting his health at risk by fighting. And you can see his heart, and his reputation. He's not physically able to compete at that level anymore. And I think maybe he's got financial problems. I don't know. Maybe it's something in him where he feels like he didn't fulfill what he wanted in his career the first time round, and he's obsessed with doing it. But he needs to call it.
I don't think it's the he wants to fulfill something because given the cans that he fought when he came back, and then he took a fight versus BELLEW. It looks like a money grab, and he doesn't need to do that.
I think all in he got to get that 4 million for that fight.
What for BELLEW?
Including pay-per-view and sponsorship, he got that 4 million. Did all right, That's not a bad night's work.
That's not bad.
How else can you generate that much money?
Yeah, there's no one else.
So I know it's tempting. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to see another David HAYE fight. He had a great career, legend, 2-weight world champion. Gave some. He's an
What can he
entertainer
sell
as
to
well.
the public though? Now
Yeah,
after
now.
that,
It's
so both.
You know, he would find a way. David HAYE's a very good talker. He is.
great
Chisora
He gets you like, wow, I want to see this guy.
He could.
He did the t-shirts with the head, holding the heads. He
could sell anything.
He can. He's an entertainer. That's what made him. That's what made him have all these great historical nights in British boxing because he can capture the imagination of the public and get people interested in him. He knows how to sell a fight. But
I ain't watching
it's the end of the road.
I ain't paying for that.
You know, respect to everything he accomplished, but I don't want to see it anymore. It's not nice to see.
No, it's not.
That's
What
all I have
other
to say.
fights were there?
On that same card.
No, other ones that we need
Oh,
to review.
in May,
Yeah.
Stevenson Jack.
Oh,
Yeah.
fight.
Did everyone think it was a draw or like? Because
I thought it was
Okay,
fair.
result.
it was close.
First
Here's the
half of the
thing.
fight, Jack gave it away.
Yeah,
He
dominated.
did big time.
He allowed Stevenson to just throw more punches than he did.
And
Yeah.
win the rounds.
And then, he won the rounds, right? Because Jack wasn't doing anything.
he took the first
Then the
half off.
second half, he was beating Stevenson up.
Yeah.
Apart from that left hand to the body, which turned
Changed
it.
everything.
That
10th
changed
round,
it.
yeah.
The body
That's
work
what
from
makes
Stevenson, like
Dangerous.
Yeah,
guy.
before that as well.
impressive, definitely. And at his age, you know, like he showed heart.
Full
Because
season.
I completely thought that I went for the knockout. I think for Jack.
I think we
Like,
all do that?
majority.
Nah,
Well,
I
think
went with
some
Stevenson
people
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you two said
yeah,
Stevenson.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
Stevenson.
Yeah, I thought
we'd be able to
Jack
catch him.
definite knockout, and it looked like it was going that way. Then he just he's got
just-
that power, man.
Can
That's
change the
it.
fight.
That's the
That
fascinating
equaliser
thing
for
because
real.
with the David
Equaliser.
Haye thing, I was like, I'm learning from this
Yeah.
lesson, and I'm gonna go for Jack for that same reason because Stevenson hasn't had the competition, inactive, old, all the typical things, but that power is serious.
Yeah.
There's a
It's an
reason why
equaliser.
Jack was like, I'm just gonna wait until he tires out a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
So he's not so dangerous, but he still was dangerous.
Yeah,
There's one
to the
shot.
very end, to
Do
the
you know?
very
I
end,
think
he finished
there's
strong.
two things. One,
A bit.
Jack might have waited a bit too long to be active.
Absolutely.
And then Stevenson, when he was fading partly because he was looking for that second wind. So like he was getting beaten up and he was like just surviving. But the plan was to find that one shot or find that onslaught late on, and it came in the 11th. That's what he was looking for anyway. So both of them were playing like chess in there, and the strategy just evened out. It became a stalemate because they were
absolutely.
looking to do similar things.
Yeah.
They were looking to counter what they were each doing.
But that power is real.
It's
Yeah,
100%.
for real.
Yeah.
One
in
shot.
the 11th round.
Like,
Yeah,
It was accurate as well.
Rematch.
Accurate.
Is everyone thinking
Shot as well.
rematch?
I was gonna
is
say,
the right
do we
way
wanna see a
or, like,
rematch?
move on?
it should be a
'cause they,
rematch.
I'd
then
like to
Stevenson
see
should
it.
be
retired.
one.
I wouldn't
but-
mind it. Yeah, what else they gonna do?
But
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
what that Alvarez guy is now fighting Kovalev.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because
So-
it was gonna be
Yeah, run the rematch.
I forgot
No, he's
the
got a
name of
mandatory he
the
has
other
to
guy.
take care of apparently.
What Stevenson does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's mandatory.
That's great.
I don't want to disrespect
Yeah.
him, man. I can't pronounce his name.
Okay.
It begins with a G.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot the name of the guy. Kovalev was gonna fight first, then they put Alvarez as his opponent.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's
yeah.
got a mandatory that he has
It'd be
to.
good if they run it back. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
worth it.
And
Oh, yeah,
then
great
Stevenson ride off into the sunset because I think he's.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Towards the end now,
Yeah.
yeah.
The other huge fight, Linares Loma. Like,
Yeah.
that was a, like,
Wicked fight.
yeah, it went like we all went with Loma, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not a knockout. I don't think
None
any
of us. Did
No,
anyone
no.
say stoppage?
No, I said it might get stopped. That's all I was
Yeah.
saying in the
Yeah.
I said it
I'm
might.
not
It might get
surprised that
stopped.
it did get
Believe
stopped
Mm.
because he's been stopped on cuts and stuff. And
Yeah,
you know,
but
Logan is
cuts,
just
man,
accurate.
it's
Body
different.
shot. Like,
Yeah, you see,
took
no,
him out.
it's that accurate body shot. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, that's a big
But his
statement.
brows were getting lit up.
Yeah.
Lit up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Logan got dropped as well. We
Yeah,
saw something
yeah,
different.
yeah.
You know, he
Yeah.
responded well. It's
Got
we
cocky.
learned about his character.
He got
in that
cocky
fight.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He got a bit
definitely
too
got cocky.
carried away, and you know, he
At that
after
level, it's different.
Well,
that,
exactly.
yeah,
At
yeah,
that level.
yeah.
Mhm.
Big,
Because it just
bigger
takes a
man.
second.
Oh, he's found it.
Yeah.
It just
And
takes
it's a bigger man as well. Like
Yeah.
you can't get cocky
Again.
against a
Nah.
bigger don.
who can hurt.
Yeah.
Clearly.
And
Huge statement.
They're looking at maybe Mikey as
I'd
the
love that
next
fight.
Mikey Garcia.
Mikey
as the
Garcia,
next,
Lomachenko was a
opponent.
fantastic fight.
Well, because of the injury to Loma, that's
yeah,
going to
he
be
got the
pushed
shoulder.
back.
shoulder
Yeah.
injury, yeah.
First of all,
Yeah.
can I just point out that I rate Lomachenko because I sent this to the group. There's clear evidence that he had a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people have come out of a fight and everyone's like, did he have an injury? No, he
Yeah.
definitely
Reckon
had
though.
an injury.
Yeah, he
like,
pointed
Yeah.
to it.
and I'm always wondering, like, when someone goes back, like, you know with Floyd, when he broke his hand,
Yeah.
he, like, you can physically see he's got
Yeah.
injury, and then he's
Andre
talking
Ward
about
as well,
it. Yeah.
same thing. Broke
You
his hand,
talk
yeah,
about it in the
fuck.
corner and that. There's people
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I lost it because of this injury in the 5th, and it's like, nah, no one knows that happened.
Yeah, Pacquiao.
Loma clearly had this injury and still went on to stop a bigger man
Yeah.
who's a
And
quality fighter.
Quality fighter, yeah.
I just think this guy's.
You got to tell your corner.
Yeah.
You need some advice after that.
That's
why it just proves, like, for me as well, I agree.
Manny
I was like,
Pacquiao, I'm like, you know, the shoulder, was it a big deal? Because we'd be talking about, me and my corner will sit me down and be like, how are you feeling? And if I'm not pointing out the big thing that's getting in the way of me winning, it doesn't make any sense. Like, we should be talking about strategy around that.
Of course.
I rate Loma 100% for the performance he put in.
I think that leads us on to talking about the pound for pound list. I think majority of people have him on as like at number one.
Number one pound for
pound.
pound.
Number one here. Or?
No doubt about it. For me, number one pound for pound. No one else is close. That fight there solidified it.
Yeah.
Huge statement to go up in weight and beat a formidable champion, a well-respected world champion like Jorge Linares. In that fashion, stop him.
That's the key, boy.
He's the number one pound for pound now. No one else is doing anything. Yeah, the way in which he did it.
In fact, the winning
stopped him.
Itself.
Yeah, even just a winner. Yeah, but to win like that, yeah, he's the number one pound for pound now. He's the man to beat. He's the guy to catch. And yeah, I don't think anyone else has done anything to justify being above him in the pound for pound list. Yeah. After that.
What's up? Yeah.
The real question is, what does everybody else have to do in order to grab that off him? Because I think there's got to be some feats accomplished by the other two significant folks.
Yeah.
In order to trump what Loma's done.
Yeah. Crawford and Triple G.
Well, so this is my thing.
Yeah.
Right. So we all agree that Loma's number one, and Crawford's number two, and Triple G's number three.
I'm with that as well.
I'm definitely with that, but I understand where people are coming from, putting Triple G at number two.
Yeah.
If basically it depends if you say his draw against Canelo should have really been a win, then he's beat number 4 or 5 in pound for pound list, and that definitely is a great accomplishment.
And he's unbeaten as well. So and in a lot more fights over a longer period. So I think it's, you know what, in Triple G's defense, as you said, if he actually beat Canelo, he has a good argument to be number one.
Yeah, I'd say number one.
Actually, for real, he does. Yeah,
he's got what, 20 defenses?
Yeah, the most. In
20 defenses. But I just think beating Jacobs and beating Canelo, which he should have done, is better than anything either of the other two have done. I just think Loma's he's accomplished a lot, but also the fashion in which he's beaten people. Like he's not these have been close fights when they should have been.
Yeah.
And it's in 3 different weight classes as well.
Yeah, it's weight classes.
With Triple G as Danny Jacobs is what? In and around the top 10 P4P.
Yeah, around it.
Canelo, Triple G, I think.
Yeah, people could.
He was.
But I don't know about now.
Possibly.
But I think he's someone who should.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think that was
around it.
He's around about that.
It was an argument.
He's one of the best fighters.
He's one of the top fighters.
He's a top fighter. Yeah,
top fighter,
but maybe not in that list at the moment.
No.
So win some belts and again.
Canelo.
He's never been a world champion, has he?
Pound for pound.
Danny. Yeah. Has he never been a champion?
Yeah,
he have a regular belt or something.
Oh, yeah, the regular.
It was a regular. Yeah,
he's not been proper champion because 3 of the belts is Triple G.
Yeah, it's a regular.
Canelo's pound for pound.
Absolutely.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Triple G with those 2 W's has achieved more than Loma and Crawford, and the fashion he has done it.
It's in one weight class though.
No, that's
the
fashion.
The reason why I say the fashion he's done it because before them 2 guys, who was lasting with Triple G?
Oh right, who was your knockouts?
No, this is what I'm saying. But if you were to break it down and put those guys, they're world level guys.
See, this is what
they're not
Rizardo,
you like.
Curtis Stevens,
seeing man.
They're the same level. They're the same level as most of Loma's opponents.
I don't rate
Lemieux as well.
So David Lemieux.
Yeah, he's a banger. Yeah.
Like those 3 names are top 10 middleweights at the time.
Absolutely.
Rizardo, like even Rizardo.
This is why P4P changes all the time, man. Like we're talking current. You have to look at what's just happened. Do you know what I mean? And keep it to the most recent. If you got start, we can go further back for all of them and then start doing that.
That's true.
I do think body of work matters in a way, but it has to be last 3 years or
you know what I mean?
That's true. Within an activity
and
time period.
From what has been seen, I'd say Loma's edging that. And then for me as well, while I would put Terence above Triple for number 2 is just how he's done it as well, like how he just dispatches.
Style.
Style. It's just too dominating. It's too dumb, making everybody look.
Gets a lot of star points as well.
Yeah.
Career-defining performance for me for Crawford. This is just my personal opinion. Was Postal.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Before that, people were saying this is a 50-50 fight. This guy's dangerous, tall, rangy. What he did to Matisse, that this guy's a monster, you know. And Crawford just took him to school. Yeah, he
eliminated.
He dominated
Switching
him,
guard,
took his soul.
I'll tell you what,
stance. It was incredible. That was a fantastic
If I'm gonna
performance.
do pound for pound purely on the eye test, I'd put Terence Crawford number 1.
Same.
The reason is I just think he's the most versatile boxer in the world.
Yeah.
And he can find a way to beat anybody. He can bang, he can switch, he can counter. So if he was up against Triple G and they were the same weight, or Loma and the same weight, I just think he'd find a way. He'd fight he'd fight dirty with Loma and he'd dance around Triple G. Like he can do it all. So if it was pure eye test, Terence Crawford is probably the best fighter in the world. Yeah. But Loma's done what he's done against the opponents he's done it to in such a way that just sets him above, like in a class level. And Triple G is whenever he's stepped up to that elite level, it's either been so close you couldn't tell, or like, you know,
but this is my thing. Neither Crawford or Loma have fought anyone on the level of Triple G.
And we have to we're yet to discover.
We're yet to see how.
Who else do we think is in the hat though?
Canelo was a smaller guy though, you know. That was Canelo's first fight at the 160 pound limit.
Come on.
Wait, please.
I'm not backing that.
It was his first fight at the 160 pound limit.
Yeah, come on.
It was.
He could have tried. He could have tried, but he didn't want
at 164.
Chavez is not a good fighter. Chavez was drained because he fought. What was his last fight before that against?
He was drained. That's true.
He was drained. He's not trainable.
But why can't Canelo just put the extra pounds on?
Canelo put the pounds on, but he was fighting before.
This guy wanted this specific 2-point this.
He never fought that weight before. I don't know. He's a great fighter at 154.
On the night, Canelo weighed more than.
I'm not backing.
He hasn't competed at 160. He hasn't competed at 160 and proved himself.
Why? That's his choice. Him and his team's choice.
Why did he choose that?
Come on.
Why did he choose that though? You know what I'm saying?
The division at 54 is empty.
You got a middleweight belt.
Okay, so
he had a belt.
Wait, bully.
So why are we not putting Crawford number 1? Because he hasn't beat anyone at 147. So he's done his work. I don't know. It's like Crawford goes up. Who are you favouring? Crawford or Spence?
Spence. Probably Spence.
At this moment in time, Spence. But I want to see Crawford at 147.
So let's say they fought tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Spence knocked out Terence Crawford. Yeah. People, well, he was the smaller guy. He hadn't fought at 147. So if Canelo got knocked out, that's exactly what people would have said.
But here's the difference. Canelo Alvarez probably walks around 180 pounds. He's a bigger man. He's a bigger man than Triple G.
Roberto Duran used to walk around heavy though. He was a lightweight. And he used to cut a lot of weight to get down to lightweight.
Fine. I'm just saying when he leaps up to 147 or 160, you can't be like, oh, he's so small. He's not.
I'm not saying he's so small. I'm just saying, it's a good win against a good fighter, but it's not the top fighter in your division because he hasn't done anything in your division
yet. But he never really fought at 154 either.
For the last week, he was fighting at 155 catch.
He
was fighting at 155, 1 pound above the weight.
Come on.
Then Danny Garcia was doing that. Danny Garcia was doing that at 140 for the last few fights. Against Peterson and whoever else,
No, I hear what
no
you're
one's saying that about Danny Garcia when he went up to 147.
I just think
he fought Cotto at what 160.
Yeah, he fought Cotto.
Who? Canelo.
Yeah,
that wasn't at 160 though. You know, it was 155 or 155.
No, it was 155
Canelo weight.
It wasn't at the full limit again. So you know what I mean.
Cotto's not actually a full-fledged middleweight, of course.
So he's 154.
So I understand it, but Canelo wasn't. You know, he wasn't like the guy. These weren't. This isn't like Wilder and Joshua, the two men in their weight class who were tearing for everyone. This is the guy's first fight at the limit. So
I hear what you're saying.
That's the only fight there. It's the only
I hear
fight.
what you're saying, but I do feel like Canelo's a special case because he's been a weight bully at 54 for so long.
Weight bully.
He has been weight bullying.
Canelo
like he could have
weight bullying smaller guys.
Yeah.
So he could have moved up. Then people were saying Billy Joe Saunders would be a tough fight for him.
Yeah, he definitely would.
So, but we don't know because I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions for him at that weight.
Showing him what we got.
The number 1 guy right now.
Loma's number 1. Wait, what order were you putting these in? Actually?
What's everyone's order? Because we might all have different.
So I'm trying to make this work. I've got little hands. This ain't fair. You should.
I'll do P4P, then I'll do eye test,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, you know what? I ask every man.
Chocks loves the
top
items.
5. Who's your top 5 right now?
Crawford is hidden.
But
And that's definitely not what you meant to say.
Yeah.
Pound for pound.
Yeah. Everyone's pound for
Everyone pound for
pound.
pound. That's long.
Do you know? But I'm. This is my current one. But based on the conversation now, I don't know. I think this man might deserve to
go to number
He
one.
just doesn't like Loma.
He
just doesn't like Loma. I think he might.
I don't know about that. Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, clearly.
I think he might.
Why don't you like Loma, fam?
I think he might.
Why don't you like Loma?
No, I'm just like. So this. I like this question. It's a good question. I'm a resume man. So for me, like, if Loma does this to a Mikey Garcia, for example, then it's not even like this anymore. It's like this.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
It's like that because Mikey Garcia is Mikey Garcia.
He's building to that though.
Yeah.
If he does it,
And
But he hasn't done it
Linares
yet.
was a test.
Linares was a
Like
test.
the people,
Why are we putting
we
in
had
air
to,
quotes,
no, because he
Love
dispatched
Linares,
man.
man.
He dispatched. We all
Linares
had
was a
that
test.
feeling in the back of their head that he was gonna make it look like light work, and he made it look like light work. Barring the knockdown, which was him just being a bit too, rash. Yeah. He made it. Ugh, that was crazy.
Okay.
Linares, the reason why Loma went to number 1 for me because of the Linares victory is simply because of who Linares is. It's as simple as that. I can't, like, you can look, it's the same thing why I don't rate Deontay Wilder for this knocking man out like this.
I understand.
The thing is, Loma's doing this against guys that have come off a draw, come off a loss, come off who's old. Like, these are the things you can't ignore. You can't hold up Deontay Wilder and be like, yeah, but Ortiz is old, and which is what I say, right? I say Ortiz is old.
Yeah.
He's past it.
Say that.
Said all these things, and then be like, actually, when it comes to Loma, those things don't count. It counts.
All right. Jay, should we tell the people? Should we tell the people what's been going on in the chat, the wars that we've had?
Hey.
Basically, Nat hates Loma, and I don't understand why.
See, I've never said this. This is the subjective realm.
This is the
the
opposite.
subjective realm.
In fairness, you put Loma number 1 pound for pound now.
Yeah,
don't you?
literally.
So you accept he's number 1 pound for pound.
Yeah.
So here's another thing to talk about. What do the other guys have to do to take that spot from him?
That's what I'm saying.
Terence Crawford, Triple G. What do they have to do to take the number 1 pound for pound spot from Lomachenko?
For me, I think Crawford and Loma up until Linares were about the same in terms of in terms of it was a reasonable argument. That's all I said. It's a reasonable argument, and the achievement of Terence Crawford put him number 1. But Terence Crawford hasn't fought a murderer's row either, and anyone who argues that Lomachenko's resume is so terribly weak and Crawford's is incredibly strong is being incredibly unfair, right? So to me, it's got to be Crawford has either got to whoop people in the welterweight division, or he's got to beat the man who everyone considers the man anyway, Errol Spence. So he either gets a convincing win over Porter or Garcia, the winner of them two, or he beats Errol Spence, and that could be a razor-thin decision. I don't mind, but then he becomes pound for pound number 1.
If he beats Errol Spence, he's number 1 pound for pound.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's
goes
without question.
Yeah.
100.
If he beats Errol Spence, I have to say
Because
he's
the
number 1
moment
pound for
Errol
pound.
Spence starts getting some belts and he starts clearing some, he's there.
Yeah.
Because
No one's arguing
here's
that.
the thing:
And
Errol
we talk about
Spence Jr.
fashion.
is another fellow top 10 pound for
He's
pound.
in the top 10.
That's why I said it.
So
Doesn't
there's
matter
no
if
comparison.
It's like a razor-thin decision.
No.
But my other
Like,
guy,
I still be
is
number 1.
Triple G. I think if he takes the belt off Billy Joe, he's a unified middleweight champion.
Then he
So
deserves to be number 1.
Yeah,
He's number
so
1.
he's like, I think they're only
Clean up
one
his
win
division.
away. I think
Yeah.
both
They're
guys
all
are one
one
win
win
It's
away.
always,
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's
But
really-
Martio's in? No, that won't get.
I didn't even count that as a victory.
We didn't even do a review on that. We all forgot about the fight.
Yeah,
We didn't even review it.
Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, what do you think of him? I think he's on the
I
cusp
think
of doing
he's
something.
like number
Yeah,
5
that
to
is a
me.
good
Yeah,
point.
Top 10.
yeah,
That's
he's
a
there.
good
So
point.
I'll put him number 5.
Errol Spence.
But
Number
and this is
five,
the,
number
this
4,
is
number
the
5.
next thing. Look, I think the reason why people like don't want to accept Loma as number 1, or it's just the bum sucking, man, from the scene, man. It's too much.
Sorry,
Wait,
I
wait,
apologize.
It's too much.
Elaborate, Chops.
Nah, it's too. It's like
It's mad annoying.
Chops,
Yeah.
express yourself.
Wait, you know what I want to say to the people, right? We had a this was in the group, in the WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
about which
Who's the
fans
most
are the most
annoying?
annoying, like which fan bases. And Loma was. I was surprised because I always find Triple G fans or Pacquiao fans the most annoying.
Don't
but,
call them by their names.
Yeah,
That's really.
like, literally. Do you get me?
Yeah.
No, what it
Yeah.
is I after the conversation I realized what you meant, because it's when they say, "Oh, look, his footwork is crazy," but it was when it's like, "Oh my God, no one's ever seen boxing
Since
being boxed
the-
like that." Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
he's
no,
the
stop
next
it.
Muhammad
It's
Ali.
too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, it's like
shit like
chill.
that.
And then, look, the thing is, don't get it twisted. I see it. Like Lomachenko clearly is inspiring the youth, the young boxers.
And so he should.
I see, 100%. He's doing. People are doing his moves. Doing. I see it in the gym.
They need to stop because they're not Lomachenko.
It's not the Lomachenko, but you see that's a sign of like a boxer who's gonna like really change.
the game.
yeah.
It's like
Uh-huh.
when Floyd with the shoulder roll.
Exactly.
Coming out trying to do the shoulder
Yeah,
roll.
you know.
Yeah, you know the
The
shoulder.
footwork, the slipping, how he moves, people are
Yeah.
copying it. However, there's like yes, it looks amazing and it looks sick, but let's talk about effectiveness, like super effectiveness.
Yeah.
And being,
I can rate other boxers way more than him on
Yeah.
that. You know.
A lot of fighters can't necessarily emulate. It's like
of
Rona
course, yeah.
doing
Yeah.
Mayweather.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just
not
not
the
the
same,
same.
Exactly.
You just
Yeah.
got to be original.
Yeah.
And Mayweather,
You're
even
gonna take your
Mayweather,
elements, but
even Mayweather's not the father of the shoulder roll.
No, of
No,
course
There's
not.
several
no,
boxers
yeah.
Way
before.
they're all,
Yeah,
all
Arnold
modified
Moore,
here
yeah.
and there.
And these guys were creators in the early days. of,
Doing this
like,
thing.
Even James Toney was doing a shoulder roll long before Floyd.
And they
even
all
his
do
dad-
it a bit differently as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
his
know?
dad, his uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in their
So
DNA.
he
Isn't
just
it? Yeah. He's
improved
developed it and took it.
It's
Like
all
Michael
Charles
Jackson
and them,
shit,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
giving
But there's the
moonwalk
clear
shit.
we see Loma like he's changing the game.
I feel like
Changing.
Loma does some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I think everyone goes too crazy about the crazy stuff he does.
That's
and that's
it.
why it's so annoying.
That's what makes it annoying.
But
Yeah, It's not Loma's fault. It's what happens. Like when they put Triple G in the top 25 pound for pound loss. This was like a few years ago.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Of the last 30 years, I was like,
Oh, God.
"What are you doing?" Like,
This was
I can't
even
remember who
before
they
he
took
fought
out.
Jacobson and
Yeah.
Canelo. That's what upset me.
That's crazy.
because he's
At that
he's
time,
steamrolling people, but it's
Yeah.
like, who you
who
steamrolling
was he
though?
being? Yeah. Those times would,
If
until he
Mikey
proved
beat Lomachenko, would Mikey be number 1 pound for pound?
Not in my book.
I can't
not
do
number
that.
one, but he'll be
Who else
right
has he
there in
fought?
the top 5.
It would
Why
bring him
not?
up. Exactly.
Last
Why?
three.
It's a good question.
Lipninets,
I think-
Brona, and the one before that was that
I'm not giving him that.
Zalich.
Slatishan.
Yeah.
Messed up
Dijon
everyone's names.
Slatishan.
And I
And
apologize.
also, there's a difference in like me going up in weight and doing my thing.
And going, yeah,
and then,
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if Loma's there for a while before they fight, then it's different.
Yeah, but even still, Garcia's a significantly
Then
bigger
Triple
man.
G's never gone up in weight.
Yeah.
But he's little. This is the thing
Yeah,
about Triple G.
man.
He can't really do 168.
Yeah.
He could actually do
Yeah.
54 easier than he can do 68. When they did the 30-day weigh-in for him versus Brooke,
Kell Brook,
Brooke
yeah,
was
was
heavier.
heavier.
Yeah.
Like he's
that
not a big
shows
don.
that's his weight.
He's just got a
Naturally.
Mayweather's
granite
not a
chin.
big guy, but you know he went up to 154.
Who?
Yeah, I know
Floyd
Mayweather.
Mayweather.
Yeah.
He was a small
Absolutely.
one. He didn't even
Wait,
make
hang
150.
on.
He was in
Yeah.
weighing
He
in
was
at
a small,
152.
even at 147.
Yeah, 147.
That was
yeah.
a push.
So, you
Yeah,
know, do you
yeah,
want to be
yeah,
great?
that's
or-
true.
Mayweather's a
Is that
comfortable
is
one.
that a reasonable defense?
He's
I
a-
don't know.
I'm just saying, like,
It's-
it's
yeah,
not.
I get
It's
it,
the
yeah.
ownership.
I hear what
I'm
you're
just
saying.
playing devil's
I
advocate, I'm just
definitely
throwing it out
hear-
there, you know.
yeah. I
And
hear
know
then
what
moved
you're
up.
saying.
that's
makes-
always comes into like you've got to put that in for consideration. compared
Also,
to the
didn't he
others.
use a couple catch weights? I mean, who did he fight at 54?
Mayweather.
Floyd,
Yeah.
Cotto.
Only Cotto.
It was
Cotto at the
Cotto,
full
and
limit.
Cotto- and
Yeah.
Cotto
And then
was
Conor
welterweight.
McGregor.
Canelo was
if you
at,
wanna count.
Oh, forget that. No, let's not count.
If you wanna
Canelo
count.
was
Wait, what did
at
Canelo
54
come down
is a
to?
joke.
He went
One-
147.
catch-
152.
So
Yeah,
he-
exactly,
So
it's
yeah, he
52.
caught weight for
152,
Canelo,
Canelo, yeah.
and the thing. Okay.
And
Cotto.
Cotto at 54 is like,
54,
yeah,
yeah.
but that's your welterweight brother that you should have fought years ago.
Years
The-
ago.
De La Hoya was 154.
I was up
De La Hoya was
Floyd-
154.
Floyd and De La Hoya, that was 154.
Ah.
Yeah,
Was it with the 10-ounce
No,
gloves?
no, it was 154.
Yeah,
It
it
was.
Didn't De La Hoya
That's
fight
false.
Pacquiao?
At
was
147.
147,
Yeah.
yeah. He was drained.
I swear.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had a
was
catch
drained.
weight, actually.
Yeah,
They might have
because
had a catch
Pacquiao
weight.
came up from like 140 or something to fight him.
Yeah.
I think they had a catch weight.
I think they might
We're,
have.
De La
we're
Hoya-
reaching
De La
way
Hoya-
back.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
But De La Hoya
De La Hoya
was
was drained.
drained.
You could
He
see
actually,
that.
he was
very
actually
drained.
lighter than the
Than
weight
Pacquiao.
limit on when he weighed in.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he just messed up his weigh in and
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, he was fighting way up 160, as high as 160,
Yeah.
and I believe. So yeah.
Jay, I propose we have time to do the favourite fighter conversation because we kind of slipped into that when we were talking about annoying fans. and
Yeah,
stuff.
what current? You
Yeah,
want to talk
current.
about your current? Yeah, like
Favourite
what's
fighters.
everyone's current current 5, your favorite 5.
I say that without
you're-
deciding who my current.
This
my
guy's so
favourite
zoned.
is.
Current
Yeah, man.
5.
I let you kick it off.
Do you have to do 5? Is there 5
That's
favorites?
what I'm saying.
just
Just
one.
say who you're
Just
feeling.
one.
Yeah.
I can't just have
I can tell you a
2 or
few.
3.
I can give a
Whatever.
few.
5 maximum.
I don't want to just name people to
Between
make up the
1 and 5.
numbers, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Mikey Garcia a lot. I really like Mikey Garcia. I think he's like 1 or 2 fights away from being like one of the top guys in boxing. I think he just needs that career-defining win.
By
He
top
needs
guys,
to-
what do you mean?
I think pound for pound up there.
Number 1.
Yeah, face of boxing. I think he could be something special. I like it. I like his attitude. I like the way he talks. I like the way he fights. Very smart fighter. Very efficient. He's got the power. He boxes well. You know, he speaks well. I think he could be a star. I think he could be. He could really be up there, pound for pound, top 3-4, pound for pound. And you know, he's got a good, how many? He's unbeaten. He's got a long
more
unbeaten
than 20
streak.
fights on-
Yeah, I think he could be. So he's just 1 or 2 fights where he just needs the right dance partner. So him and Lomachenko will be the perfect fight for him. I rate him. I
Would
like-
you give him number 1 if he beats Loma?
No, because Loma's smaller.
Okay.
I think that's the only problem. I think he's got a strong argument for it if he beats Loma, because Loma is the number 1 now. But I wouldn't be as inclined to give it to him because Loma's a smaller guy coming up. I think that's my issue with that. But if he's going to beat Robert Easter, if he beats Robert Easter now as well and then beats Loma, he's kind of
That
cleaned
would
up the
be a
division.
good win, actually.
Yeah, so if he
that
gets
would be
those 2, that's a strong argument for it. So quite possibly you could give it to him if he beats Loma.
Yeah.
I
Martin's right.
like the Charlo twins. I really like the Charlos.
Yeah.
Both of them. I think they're another ones. I like. They can
they're
talk the
quality.
talk. They're good fighters, powerful. They come to fight. I think either of them. They like if Jamel can get the Herd fight and win that, he's in a strong position to be one of the top guys in boxing.
Absolutely.
Jamal, he's mandatory for Triple G now. If he can beat Triple G, he's right up there in the mix, pound for pound.
straight.
Top 10.
Yeah.
That burst that announces him onto the world scene to people who might not be familiar with him. So I love the Charlo twins. I think they could do big things. Errol Spence. Errol Spence is another one, man. He's what he did to Kell Brook. I'm a big Kell Brook fan, but I was there in Sheffield. I saw that live, and that was that was he.
Hey, now it was a close fight.
No,
up
it was
until
good.
the seventh.
It was funny.
Yeah.
I rate Brooke.
There was questions before that, but he answered all the questions, and that was him showing I'm the man. I'm serious. I'm not just a prospect. I'm the man. I'm here. I'm in business. And you know what he did to Lamont Peterson? He just destroyed. He's just destroying everyone.
He
could
started dancing.
Right.
That's what I liked about that. He started showing different wrinkles. Like I'm comfortable, so
he's a killer,
like
man.
A boxing move too.
So that's for
killer
me.
player, man.
These are the guys I think that's for me. That's probably who I'm most excited by right now in boxing. Who I think got a bright future. So yeah, that's for me. I think who I'm feeling. Yeah.
It's
Lawrence, what you saying?
Errol Spence Jr. is my favorite fighter right now.
Yeah. Why?
Why? I love to watch him box. He's an offensive but very responsible fighter. So like his defense is tidy whilst he comes and hunts you down. He's not like I'll take as many shots on the chin to land a few. He's like tidy, effective offense. He makes for entertaining fights. And he wants to fight everybody. That's the other thing. He doesn't like, he's the one everyone's running from. It's not the other way around. So I really rate that as well. The PBC thing needs to be sorted out because the welterweight division was on fire and it's been
just talking
quelled.
about this on the way up. How much in a 6-month period it's just gone to
It's because they're not fighting enough. Everybody on the PBC is just fighting once a year, so it's kind of dead.
Do you think they're scared of Spence? Do you think that's the issue? That's what's killed it.
Partly, but
Yeah.
they only get one fight a year as well.
Don't
Like,
blame.
yeah, I don't blame him either. Like, I might get married and have an injury to avoid fighting him.
That guy's a problem, man.
I wouldn't want none of that.
What he did to Kell Brook was like, because people are basing it. Kell Brook beat Sean Porter.
Yeah.
It was a tough fight. Kell Brook is a skill, and even the way Kell Brook carried himself against Triple G, and the way Errol Spence dealt, it's like Kell Brook was winning the fight up until a certain point, but it was just the way he broke him down. It was just
Does that, man.
It's
like
Does that to everyone.
almost
The body shots are
unstoppable.
just too savage, man.
at a certain point you knew this fight was gonna go only one way, and it was like
Just turned.
He knows
even though
every
Kell Brook
route
was doing well,
to the body.
it was like
Literally.
you saw Kell Brook. It's like chopping a tree.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's what he does.
Do you know what I like? Do you know what I really like as well? It's the long game.
Yeah, invest.
It's investment.
Investment.
Yes. And
But it's not
you know
in a
what?
dumb
That
way.
suggests a lot of confidence to me because he knew that he needed to go through all the every part of adversity that he could, like he had
and he
high
knew
guard,
he respected
took every
Kell
punch.
Brook's skills.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, Kell Brook doesn't have Stevenson type power, but the way Spence did it against Brook is how Jack wanted to do it against Stevenson.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, we're gonna have a little bit of a altercation early.
Yes.
It might not all
Take
go
some
my
shots.
way, but I'll be with
still
Ward
there.
Kovalev. Actually, Ward Kovalev too, where the story of the fight was going Ward's way, but maybe you were scoring the fight towards Kovalev.
Yeah, from the beginning.
Exactly that.
And so for that reason,
those are
ESJ is
the ways you handle a power puncher. But I think it's rare that you have a power puncher who fights with that kind of intelligence, because if you look at Kovalev or a Mike Tyson or someone who just goes into kill, they're just going for the kill.
That's not fair on Kovalev.
I think so. Like, why? Why do you say that?
Well, because he's a student. The way he dealt with Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah.
Jab,
But I
jab,
think he
jab, jab, jab.
respected Hopkins a lot because it's Hopkins. But
But
I think
he would have respected Ward in the second fight because he knew what Ward was about. So
but
Ward made him do
earned his
things.
respect. That's the thing. Ward forced him to respect him.
Yeah,
in the
of course,
first fight,
of course.
Because as much as I know most people would have picked Kovalev to win, like I personally picked Ward, maybe favoritism or whatever. Like,
I think I picked Ward.
Yeah, like to of what, like
The second
based on
fight,
what actually happened. I still think you know, he Ward took his time and broke him down. You know what I mean? In terms of how a boxer should. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He took his time. He used his intelligence.
That's the thing that with what's it called?
Errol Spence.
Errol Spence. Yeah, he's like
you know what I mean?
them man are just so patient.
Yeah.
You know, I know I can bang. I know I can hit you hard. It's okay. It's coming.
Yes.
Like that's mad. That's what I like. Him and Terence Crawford have in common as well. He's patient with his killing. It's just how he hits hard. Yeah, he just takes his time.
The Charlos have that tendency as well. Same thing.
And they're similar camp, innit?
You're naming all the people out there.
This is
yeah.
I got some other faves though. Like, well, not faves. I got people that I like that are coming up. And let's big up some UK dons like Buatsi. I like. He's very, very tidy. I like how he boxes.
Quality.
Yard. I like what I'm seeing there as well. It's just very like focused British boxers coming up and with some style. Yeah. You know? So big up them guys.
Someone else, Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Josh Taylor.
He's nice with it.
Wicked fighter, Josh Taylor.
He's fighting
junior Victor Postel. That's
big test.
23rd of June in Scotland.
Okay.
That'll be a real test
Quick
for him.
question. What does,
test.
I wanted to chuck this in.
Yeah.
What does Josh Taylor smashing up Victor Postel do to Crawford's pound for pound ranking?
That means nothing.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah,
I'm just checking.
Yeah, Postel's been inactive quite a lot.
I know. I'm just
in
checking
that time, but I know that's a good point to raise. But I think Postel, he hasn't fought since then. Maybe one fight.
He might have had
I think
one fight in that time.
That Terence Crawford fight messed him up.
Yeah. It literally like
destroyed him,
and he's like, what?
And
Yes, a fight after, and how long?
But I don't. Hang on.
Listen,
Everybody acts like a loss is the end of a fighter's career.
It depends on the loss.
It depends on the loss, but it wasn't one of them brutal, I left a piece of me in the ring type losses.
No, it doesn't matter.
Bamboozled.
I think
doesn't matter.
Postal was bamboozled. That'll make you really
it's like
think
Kelly
about your
Pavlik,
skill,
when Kelly
your
Pavlik
level.
got beaten by Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins took souls off man.
Yeah, he did.
And they were never the same afterwards. He didn't knock them out.
Yeah.
You just, the way he beat them, Mayweather,
Just
same
think,
thing.
can I still box?
Here's the thing: if people, it's either you've been destroyed and you're Triple G. What Triple G did to Kell Brook, and he bust his eye up, and then he went to the doctors, and he's like, "My face has been broken." That's a career-changing defeat. Getting stopped isn't. Being like outclassed isn't.
No,
that's more demoralizing.
Depends on who you are.
You will question yourself. And look what Lomachenko did to Rigondeaux. No one's seen this guy since.
Walters, where is he?
Yeah, all these guys are still missing after.
When they go no mass, of course.
It's the same thing. Some of them are not saying no mass, just dealing with it. But in their head, it's like no mass. I'm getting so schooled. What's it called? The what that Mayweather? He tucked him in, man. Oh, Mayweather's done it to many
yeah.
guys.
Mayweather did it to bare people.
What's his name?
Robert Guerrero.
Guerrero.
Yeah.
True say he made a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
the
money.
way,
He just
okay,
done it for a
yeah,
while.
and the
He
way
was
that
gone for a while,
and the way that Mayweather absolutely
Even Canelo.
destroyed Canelo's
Yeah,
career.
Canelo.
No, yeah, of course he did.
No, he didn't.
Canelo has mental strength to
But I'm
bounce
just
back
saying,
though.
That's
all
different.
Cotto.
He did.
And
Canelo-
Cotto didn't die when Pacquiao beat the shit out of him either.
No.
And he didn't die when
Cotto's
my
a
man
Hall
beat
of
the shit
Famer.
out of
Yeah,
him.
we're
Man,
talking
I've
about
had
different
decent
fighters mentally,
careers
though.
though, and
Cotto's a
had
Hall of
some
Famer.
big
That's
fights
why.
before
That's
that.
exactly why.
No,
I
but-
think
Yeah.
it's
Okay, so
because
this is the
who
first
they
time
are.
we've reached this level.
Yeah,
Then that's not,
it
doesn't
depends.
carry
It
to
depends on the
everybody
individual
either.
and the circumstances. So, like for me, Postol is an example
Yeah,
of
so
it
that's
mentally. I think it's one of those
100%.
defeats. Like Kovalev Ward. Kovalev thought he's unbeatable at that time, but that loss definitely shifted something.
Yeah.
I think
For
that
sure.
actually
First loss.
the first lot. It's not the first loss. In fact, if he'd won or lost, it wouldn't have mattered really. It was what happened in the second part of the fight and the fact that he couldn't take advantage of hurting him early,
Yeah.
and he was actually feeling like I don't
Yeah, I
want to be
haven't got-
here.
I ain't got no
more.
answers.
It's
Yeah.
still- or Chad Dawson. Ward, Chad Dawson.
Yeah,
Chad Dawson was
Chad
unbeaten.
Dawson
Chad
changed.
Dawson-
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
after
Chad
that. He
Dawson
was
after
finished.
destroyed.
But,
Destroyed,
okay,
finished.
fine.
Downhill. Like
There's
Mike
that was
Tyson.
several
weight,
fights.
so
Someone
shape
touch
anymore.
your mental
Is
too
that Mike
much.
Tyson in the ring or
Question
Mike Tyson out of
yourself.
the ring? I'm just saying, people go, "Oh yeah, well that guy finished that guy." And
No,
it's like,
I
it's
think
bit
a lot
flippant.
of people spoke about the flaws in Mike Tyson after that loss to Buster Douglas and what you can do with him and how you.
This is my favorite boxing topic of all time.
No,
Mike Tyson
that's a
won that
different
fight.
thing.
Mike Tyson won that
that's
fight.
Yeah, that's true. But
Like you said, Mike Tyson out the ring. I think that's a different
That's-
kind of
yeah,
thing.
No,
exactly.
those things
But
added.
Yeah,
but
that
I
wasn't
do
him just
think-
getting outschooled by a better fighter and him
Yeah.
looking, oh my god, like nah. What did he say? He was in Japan doing hookers or something. Like, and he had
But
gonorrhea and he was messing about. Like he was.
so it's like the
There's a lot
Hassan
of
Ratman,
factors.
Lennox Lewis.
yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't
There's a
focused.
lot of
There's-
factors, but personally,
Postal went into that fight with Crawford focused. It was he thought,
Yeah,
I can
he's
do this guy,
unbeaten.
and he was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, like whoa.
Yeah, he's bedazzled.
So I think Tyson was slightly different to that.
So even Ali Foreman, the biggest fight. Foreman after that point, it took him 10 years to get. He was finished after that. He lost to the likes of Jimmy Young.
Yeah, he lost to Jimmy Young,
retired.
and
He would
he beat Ron Lau in a war, right?
Which he got dropped to.
Yeah, in the war,
Yeah.
like it was like a Hagler Hearns for the heavyweights.
Yeah,
right? But again, I just feel like if those fights had gone well for Foreman, he would have bounced back. I don't know about this whole, that one fight that completely changed. Like there's people, these guys are experienced. They've been beaten up in the amateurs. They get beaten up in sparring. They're used to getting beaten up. It's not
More
that,
on the line,
there's
though.
this
No,
one
it's more
fight
on the
and
line.
then
It's more on
that
the
was
line.
it.
Yeah.
Without
I
it
think it's
being like
different.
Mildred
Each
Taylor
individual.
Chavez, I can understand because he took a physical and mental beating. But other fights where it's just like, okay, yeah, this guy outclassed me, and now I just don't feel like boxing
No, 'cause
ever
if
again.
you're-
It's like they're much harder than that up here.
Are they,
Like,
though?
to do the business in the
Are
first
they?
place?
This is what
I
I'm saying.
don't
Going
know,
back to
man.
Canelo,
takes him to a
Canelo
different
Floyd,
place.
Canelo was early in his career, so he can only build from that loss, if you know what I mean. But if he was the current Canelo, it might have a complete different
Yeah,
effect. on his
discombobulating
mental. Or
effect.
Khan's had losses that that unsettled him. That's the Danny Garcia defeat. I think that was one that would have shifted things. You know,
Never
for
wanted
him
that. He
mentally.
never went for the rematch.
He didn't want the rematch. No.
Yeah, and since
Hasn't
then,
done a rematch
he hasn't-
twice.
But
Just would
wasn't
like
he-
to
was
just to
he-
mention.
Who was he chasing afterwards?
But yeah, money grab though.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, it was only
Everything after that's money.
Yeah, money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barona.
Everything.
Barona's just been that since he lost
Right,
to
after Maidana, that was it.
downhill.
Done.
I feel but there's this difference between being found out and having a bad loss against a quality opposition.
Yeah.
And there's some guys who are pretenders up until a point.
What, so you think Bono was a pretender?
I think so. Yeah.
And
At
he-
Well,
147,
everybody
yeah.
knows Bruno was a
No,
pretender.
no.
He was at 147.
Yeah.
No,
In terms
because
of- in terms
there
of
was
him, but
things
he
that
could've
were
been-
low
I'm saying he
Greco.
could have
Hang on.
won. He could have won that.
The
That
writing
Maidana.
was- the writing was on the wall before that, you
Not
know?
low Greco.
Malinaji.
Malinaji,
Malinaji
Yeah.
before Malinaji.
Ponce
low
de Leon.
Ponce de Leon. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hear what
We
you're saying.
all knew there was a build up to like, is this really
Yeah.
the?
Yeah.
And there's pretenders who get to a level and get smashed and everything. Oh, fuck it. And there's people that are real serious fighters and go through some shit. Like Miguel Cotto went through with them mad hand wraps in Margarita. And they come back and they're still dogs.
Doesn't that make Miguel Cotto a special fighter? That makes him Hall of Fame.
No, but that makes him a fighter.
That makes him a Hall of Famer.
Because it doesn't mean one night in 12 rounds I can't just get beaten up and be like, do you know what? I just don't want to do
But this is the thing.
Because you wouldn't go through all the shit to get there in the first place.
No, but this is the thing. Like, this is what separates greatness from world class and less. Because Postal was never like, we weren't going to say he's going to be a Hall of Famer, right? But he did beat the monster, Matisse. Matisse for a long time was a monster.
He damaged Matisse, man.
He damaged Matisse.
I've never seen him beaten like that before.
So in his head,
sorry, now he's come back.
In Postal's head, after Matisse, the victory over Matisse, he's fighting Crawford.
Yeah,
this is a modern thing.
100%.
When Joe Frazier gets knocked the fuck out in 2 rounds against George Foreman, right? And he has Ali too. No one's like,
but he's a Hall of Famer.
George Foreman.
But
it's how he bounced back and responded, though.
I just feel like this is a new analysis on that because people don't.
You can't compare.
We got more in this era and these ages more to worry about.
Yeah, we're worried about our brain.
And then you've seen like certain guys, they ain't come out too well. So
and even if you look back here. I really do think you can't compare Hall of Famers, the very, very best, with people below that. Because even when you look at Benitez, you know, Wilfred Benitez. Wilfred Benitez is not amongst that 4.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Why? Because after that Sugar Ray Leonard defeat, he was changed. He wasn't the same before that.
His biggest paycheck. That's one thing for sure.
No, but it's still.
There's that too. He never took it serious. He never took it serious before, and now that he's a millionaire, why would he take it serious afterwards?
Still, his soul was taken.
I don't think. Here's the thing as well. That seems like a conflict. I don't feel like if I'm not taking it serious, it can take my soul anyway. My soul weren't in it.
I mean, he was undefeated.
But and you feel like that belt lost.
That's kind of like a Broner thing.
Your top, you mentioned your top.
Top guys, yeah.
I said ESJ, TC.
It's very similar. So that's why
Loma,
I said
Loma, by the way.
Loma, of course.
Loma, Crawford, all these guys are great.
Crawford, Danny Jacobs as well. Danny Jacobs is, he's right up there. He's another guy.
Danny Jacobs, in his last fight, there was a period of that, and I was like, "Raw, this guy is looking slick.
He can box,
like
man.
he can really box." But then, for some reason, I have a credit to the Polish.
We'll see what Selecki does after this.
Selecki, we'll see how good, because there was a point when it was like, "Why have you dipped?" Do you know what I mean? I think in the mid rounds, Danny Jacobs was flying.
You expected him to crumble,
and then he did.
But again, I think we briefly touched on this in the last podcast. Was it down to the motivation for the level? Because he just fought Triple G, and he's fought 2 Arias.
When at homecoming as well.
Sometimes they're flat. You know, like what I mean is you just had the biggest fight of your career, and then you fight these guys. I think it can affect your performance sometimes.
Because what I was thinking is that at a certain period in that fight, I was like, could this man be amongst
the number 1
amongst these lot? Could he be?
I think Jacobs is in the conversation. He just has to do something other than fight Selecki and Arias. In order to get back in there.
He needs a significant
win. Billy Joe, love to see that.
That's do it though. That's the thing. Billy Joe's, I don't think he's interested in that.
Of course not. There's no need for him to do that.
Charlo's mandatory to Golovkin now. Jacobs' best bet is
Charlo
Canelo.
Jacobs would be even better.
Canelo won't want that fight either.
But you see, I think where the problem is with the middleweights is that they're all trying to get the biggest fight rather than fight each other because they can all lose.
Exactly.
That's because you
don't want that zero gone.
Triple G's got 3 of the belts.
And so everyone wants Triple G because it's like, if I'm Jamal Charlo, why am I going to fight Jacobs if I'm going to get half the money?
Because it's a risk
to fight. Exactly.
And it pushes you down from getting that title.
You know, eventually Triple G is going to lose to one of these.
He's 37 now.
37.
He's getting on a bit.
It's coming. Definitely. Give it a year.
And he'll open up the division again.
He's still a problem though.
You're right. They won't be willing to fight each other until they get that
Triple G fight.
That Triple G
Yeah,
fight.
and I think, do you know what? I think actually saying that, that's probably what's happened in the welterweight division. The same problem
Yeah.
where Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, that's taken a long time to negotiate because they're
of
like,
Thurman.
yeah, they want the big
They
fight.
want one time.
They want the they
What
want
do they
the
want,
Thurman,
these
but
welterweights?
he's not there. is he?
Let's be
And
honest.
now
They annoy me, man.
tell you what
They
they
annoy
don't
me.
they don't want.
They don't
Spence.
They don't want to
Spence,
fight
yeah.
Errol
Yeah,
Spence.
yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing I can
That's the
see there.
clear-
And they don't want to
They
fight.
want to fight Thurman though. Because
That's why that
Yeah.
division is trash now, man. It's just
Yeah,
like
they
no one,
slow
we're not
down.
checking
They
through
pump
it. Yeah.
the
So
brakes on
In that division, who do you think is best equipped to beat Errol Spence?
Terence
Crawford.
Crawford.
Crawford for me. Crawford.
Even though he's
I
coming
think
up in weight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
still think he's the
with
guy.
that.
Yeah.
Just because he's so good,
He's
can
got the
fight
feet if he
south
needs
or-
it.
Yeah.
I think the only way, in my
Everything.
imagination, that you beat Errol Spence is
On the
by
outside.
dancing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside.
And
You see
that,
Brooke had
even
some-
Even that is stress.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The
Like,
guy is so.
Can
You know
you
what?
imagine?
He has
And
the
he can
perfect
cut it
name.
off.
The truth. He can do everything.
Everything.
Stress.
Because he ain't gonna just walk you down.
No,
Yeah.
He's gonna box as well. He's like,
It's
That's
stress.
the thing.
It's stress. It's stress.
And the jab
Yeah.
is just.
We've never
Yeah.
seen him against a
Solid.
dancer, but I just
You just
don't-
I
know.
can't-
You can
I can't
see
see
it.
anyone beating
You
him.
can just
I can't,
see.
like,
he can
Oh.
dance
at
himself. That's the
147,
thing.
Yeah.
I
He can
can't
actually
see
dance.
right now. Like, literally, I don't think Porter, Garcia, Furman, Crawford's the nearest thing, and even then, I can't see it.
Crawford's the only one I can see realistically doing it.
Yeah.
Out of Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, who do you think is going to win that fight as well? That's a decent fight.
Really
That's
good
a good
question.
I think Porter
Good
wins.
matchup. I think Porter wins, yeah.
Personally.
How?
Yeah, I think because of his aggression, he's rough, and
His
I think he will
activity.
just rough up Garcia.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Garcia, he can take a punch as well. He's an
Yeah.
aggressive fighter himself to some extent, but I don't think a little bit like how Berto and Porter went. I can see that
Hustling.
happening for
Yeah.
some reason. I don't think
Getting
Garcia
out
will like
hustled a
that
bit.
pressure.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing: Garcia is aggressive, but he likes to bang with one shot. Porter
one punch.
is an accumulation, mauling.
Yeah.
It's more than just
Always
Up in the
on it.
chest.
It's more than just
Yeah.
punches right now. It's
Yeah.
my
It's
head. It's
elbows.
it's the
Yeah.
whole
Literally, that's
physical,
what he
and
did to-
he's
to
much bigger than Garcia. Much
Yeah,
bigger.
yeah. He was fighting.
Is he much bigger than
170,
Garcia?
168?
Wait,
Garcia's got height on him, no?
Yeah,
Garcia's
but-
got height, and I think maybe
Yeah.
reach on him as well.
Porter's big.
175.
Yeah, he's
big
stocky,
dog.
yeah.
And Garcia doesn't have the dancing feet in order to
He's
keep.
very static.
He's quite
Yeah.
static, man.
I
But
see
find
Porter
in
winning.
Very good
Garcia's
counter-puncher.
defense,
That's
Yeah.
true.
Very good. That left,
He is.
when
Yeah.
it comes to that
Oh, he
hook.
bangs.
Yeah.
and he makes adjustments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he makes.
Look at
adjustments.
Matisse. I think that's probably his best performance in his
Yeah,
career.
this
This
is-
is,
Matisse.
this is the thing is against
Anime
Sean Porter
can't.
because he's such
Yeah,
a
he can't
hustler. It's like
Yeah.
all my work gets mushed.
Yeah.
Sean Porter has a great chin, doesn't he?
Yeah,
right?
he does.
He's been dropped by
Yeah.
Broner, which is
Yeah.
fine.
That was a flash.
Flash knockdown.
He got straight
Yeah.
back up. He was fine.
Yeah.
But
But look at
Apart
him
Has
from
he been
that,
knocked down any?
He
Yeah.
took some big punches against Brooke and Furman.
Thurman,
And
yeah.
Thurman.
So
Yeah.
I just think
His chin is.
whatever Garcia can chuck at him, he's still gonna be there. Like, so
Yeah.
that'd be-
That's why. I
And
can't
Garcia
see-
doesn't even have an engine like that to be dealing
Yeah.
with that. So
No,
But
man trouble.
does
Garcia
fake,
has a
doesn't he?
chin, doesn't he? Like
he does.
Took
that punch
Matisse
he took
shots
against
as well.
Furman. Yeah.
Furman
But
as
Porter
well.
isn't
Furman
knocking him
caught in
out.
that first round.
I don't think it's going.
Porter's
It's going
not-
to the
Porter
judges,
doesn't knock
but
people out.
yeah, yeah.
Not much.
Yeah.
No, he just mauls them.
Exactly.
Like, he'll break
He's
people. Like
going for 12 rounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Broner, he broke Broner. Not Broner. Berto.
Berto, he broke him
He
down.
forced him. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he has the power that people thought he did.
No.
In, you know, in terms
When he
of,
stopped
like, 5 years
Bellenaji.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, since then he hasn't really, because they were calling him Mike Tyson. The
Yeah.
welterweight
Mike Tyson. Yeah, they were
Jesus
saying all
Christ.
that.
Yeah, that's Porter.
This is what happens when you step. This is what happens when you
Like,
step
I can't
up, though.
do it.
Yeah, exactly.
God.
Can you believe that? Like now, that's laughable. But at the time,
Wow.
when he knocked out Man,
I remember.
he looks like
Because
Like, who?
Paulie's not
Yeah.
easy to stop.
crazy.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
No, Paulie's he's tough to stop, but shit,
Yeah.
it's been stopped.
Yeah,
been
yeah.
stopped,
Ah,
yeah.
since then, like,
Not like that though.
yeah,
No.
Yeah.
yeah, and that was the first
He
time.
went through the ropes or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like,
It wasn't. Was it the first time?
That
It went-
well, like that,
Like in that
Like,
level,
like,
yeah, like
because I think
early as well.
Hatton and
Hatton-
Khan.
Khan
both
stopped him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cotto, as
Cotto,
well.
yeah, Cotto,
Cotto
yeah, busted
stopped
his
with a
eye,
body
yeah.
shot.
But yeah, no, Porter, I remember that. Porter was being talked of in that fashion. But it's what happens when you step up, and the welterweight division is like
It was
it's been
stacked,
stacked.
Yeah.
It's been stacked.
And I think
They just killed it.
I think Furman's chin isn't. I think he knows as well.
There's rumours
That's
about
why he
him
don't-
taking body shots as well. Like you've seen it
Yeah, he
before.
doesn't like it.
Do you know what?
My man,
I don't
slows
think
him down.
his shit. I don't think.
what's his name? He fought Amikan.
Yeah. Louis Collazo.
Collazo.
Yeah.
And
RG.
Porter.
Yes.
And
Gets on his
Porter.
bike. He's good at that.
And Guerrero. Swear down.
Robert
Guerrero.
made it
He
tough.
deals with it well, though.
He does.
Deals with it
He's
well.
just so clearly hurt.
Yeah, he can't hide it.
Like, he backs up well. He knows how to get around the ring when
those things happen.
Yeah.
Which
That's
is why he
waste
doesn't want
time.
that Spence
the
work.
Spence pressure.
It's long.
You know what? When Furman was the guy, Furman was actually the guy.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. He just lost all desire.
Yeah.
But those fights that even in becoming the guy, them fights were close.
You were taking it out of him.
Yeah,
as well, and
they
it
were
was
close fights.
Yeah.
They weren't like
What, the
how
Garcia?
Mayweather would deal with.
The Porter fight was
yeah.
close. I don't think the Garcia was close.
How do we
wasn't that
think?
close.
What the Garcia
May-
That was a clear
Even the
winner.
Porter one,
5
they weren't
rounds,
even.
maybe,
I'm
but
thinking back.
Just a
Furman won it.
hypothetical.
There was no question about it.
How do we think Floyd would have dealt with Spence?
Easy.
If Floyd,
Spence?
yeah.
Easy.
Nah, because like
I
let's say
don't know,
Floyd was
man.
still in the
Spence is a big
Floyd
man.
like
I
5
don't
years
know,
ago.
man.
primes. Like,
Prime
I think that's
Floyd, come on.
kryptonite there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think that's kryptonite.
That's
It's so hard to say. at this
Lefty
point.
as well.
So hard to say.
Do you know what? There's not enough data on Errol
Yeah,
Spence
You have to ask me
yet.
this in a few years.
Yeah, exactly. There's not
Couple
enough.
years time,
yeah,
ask me
yeah,
this
yeah,
year.
yeah.
I can't
If he
answer.
cleans out 147
It's
and
premature.
Yeah.
beats everybody up to 154, then maybe. But in my mind, from what I've seen so far, there's enough holes and enough defensive spaces for Floyd to just have fun.
I would say Floyd would beat him quite easily.
Yeah.
Because
Nah.
I've seen
Brook had a lot of
Errol
success
Spence
against
walk
him.
onto shots. He's
Yeah.
he's good. He's responsible defensively, but when he gets aggressive, he walk onto a shot.
You know what? Yeah, okay. Wild lean to Floyd, it's the tank as well. He'll dance
For
with
the
the whole
12
12.
He could-
Thing
Yeah,
is, you know what? Look at it like this. Because when people are asking, would Loma beat Floyd at 130? Everyone's outraged.
I'm curious.
Why is it different to ask if Spence would beat Floyd
true.
at 147?
We
I think
asked
it's the
this
same
because
thing.
they spar.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, what,
I
and
think
they
it's
gave
the
him
same
good
thing.
work.
And he's been knocked down a
Good
couple.
Yeah, there's that aspect.
You
Yeah.
can see it.
No, I
Like, you know,
agree.
Loma's number one pound
He's
for
been
pound
knocked
right
down
now.
twice by Spence. Obviously, it's
knocked down.
sparring,
It's
but
sparring.
Well,
But
so did
Wait,
he actually knock him
knocked
down?
down
I didn't hear
twice.
that.
yeah, that's what's been said. That's the
I heard
rumors.
I didn't
Black
hear
Eye
that.
rumor.
Yeah,
I
Black
didn't
Eye.
hear that.
rumors.
When have we
I
ever
didn't know
seen?
about this.
When have we
Knocked
ever
down.
seen Floyd hurt?
With a black eye.
Come
yeah.
on.
I only got beat up in sparring before, not
Yeah,
beat up, but I
sparring
can't
doesn't
remember who it
mean
was.
anything.
It's sparring at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's
doghouse
It
rules
is,
and
I
Floyd
agree.
walked out the ring or something. I didn't
Like-
know he got knocked down though.
Oh,
For
okay.
me, it's consistency. Like I'm outraged when people say Loma would have given Floyd hell at 130. If
Jesus
somebody
Christ.
somebody says
They don't know, boy.
Errol Spence would give Floyd hell at 147, I'm still outraged. I'm like, nah, man, give
Yeah.
the man
There's
respect.
stuff to prove.
He was
Put
the
some
best,
respect on
They
his name.
still know.
the best of
They
his
watch.
generation.
They watch
The
some
best.
stuff, man.
And the way he
All
dealt
time.
with, like, not world class champions, the way he dealt with fellow Hall of Famers,
Hall of Famers.
like there was a massive gap.
You put space between him and Mosley, who will get a first induction into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's like
Big
Yeah.
space.
That's what I'm saying. That he's beat a lot of Hall of Famers.
Like,
Pacquiao,
easily.
with gap.
Here's
Cos-
a weird
Cos-
question.
guys.
It's a random one. What is the best win of Floyd's career?
It's a great-
There's so
great
many.
question
That's
because
such a good question.
he's beaten a whole
That's a great
load
question.
of Hall
The
of Famers.
best
we going with?
win.
Like,
Should
do
we
you
say
mean
favourite?
performance or
Just say-
the actual
Yeah, I
best
can do
win?
favourite.
Career
Like,
defining? Yeah, whatever you like. Best your favourite win, or you think the one that you'll be
one-
most remembered for? The biggest
The one I like
accomplishment.
to watch the most is probably the Mosley fight because he had to go through some adversity
Yeah.
and then put on
He
absolute,
got hurt. Yeah.
absolute masterclass on afterwards. You've got to get your notepad out for that one. You've also got to get your
I
notepad out
like
for
the master classes.
yeah. You
like-
got
Canelo,
Gatty.
Gay.
Gay,
Nah,
nah, it's a
top
punching
five.
bag,
He
man.
wasn't top
Gatti was
five.
tailor-made.
Yeah,
Come
but
on,
it's
man.
how.
Just watch him on the pads. You might as well.
No. It's what he was getting away with, what he was doing. It's like I look at that and I'm like, this is insane.
Thing is, I can't learn from that because I'm not gonna have that skill gap golf with someone and Gatti. So it's like, I mean, it's
I hear you.
entertaining, but
Yeah.
it just whooped someone.
Yeah, it was Corrales was a really
Yeah,
Corrales.
that was impressive.
Corrales.
That was
You know,
crazy
that,
as well,
That's
but he
50
made him look like a punching bag.
he did.
He wasn't
No,
giving
he-
him much.
No, but the thing
It
is,
was a
with
lot
that,
bigger than
is
Floyd.
that Floyd had to
Yeah.
be
He's a
strategic
giant.
with this punching bag.
Made him drain small. But
Yeah,
still.
and he did things to make Corrales do what he needed to do. With Gatti, he just did what he wanted.
yeah.
Whereas the body shot, the jab to the body on
Genius.
Corrales was the left hook lead that
It's
dropped him
genius.
like
He
4
done
times.
the same to Gatty.
he didn't need to do it for 6 rounds. He just did whatever you wanted.
Anyway, this is what your faves are.
Yeah,
what I like
it's
to
a matter of
watch.
opinion,
So.
yeah.
Zab Judah, there's Ricky Hatton.
I love Zab Judah's fight as well.
Yeah, that as well. Because
Love that
that's the one where his glove touched
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
Like,
That was a knockdown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that
a
was a
knockdown.
knockdown.
Didn't get scored a knockdown.
I love that.
And
Hatton
Yeah,
Jab
Hatton
Judah,
as well.
Zab
Hatton
Judah
was
did get a lot of.
Hatton
work
is just
on.
Yeah,
him
that's
doing the
success.
moonwalk and then left.
That was
Check hook.
one of
That
the
was
most beautiful knockouts.
Yeah.
How
I-
did you get to
my
see someone
favourite-
headbutt the corner?
that was
That was a
something.
great knockdown.
That was the last
Also-
legit stoppage Floyd got, really.
Yeah.
So I don't count Victor Ortiz. And I don't count McGregor. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the round 8 when he was doing the whole feint high go to the body and Pat was bending fully over, like he was going down to the body, like in order to get everything else off. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone beaten up in that sort of that sort of strategic manner.
Yeah.
It was a masterclass.
He does that all the time, man. It's like
But it was
I
just a
promise he does it to
dismantling.
every Marquez. He done this. It was
No, I was gonna say Marquez, but no, it wasn't as
Marquez,
violent
wait.
with Marquez.
The way
Yeah,
the
he
issue
came
came
up
You know
to
what? I like De La Hoya's, the De La Hoya win.
I like
Purely
that fight.
because he
That was
went
hard.
up to fight a bigger guy. He had to wear big gloves. He didn't have it. You know, he was the B side. He had to sort of bend over a little bit in negotiations. He wore the big gloves. He went up in weight. First half of the fight, he didn't have it all his way. You know, De La Hoya was the bigger guy trying to maul him. Second half, he made the adjustments. You know, he picked him off, won the rounds comfortably. And yeah, he got the job done. And I think that was a good, and that sort of catapulted him and made him the
star.
man. Yeah, the
What
star, the
about
pay-per-view
Cotto?
king.
Cotto,
Cash
That was
cow.
an excellent
Great fight.
Great fight.
That's
Yeah.
up there as
Like,
well.
that's a good
That's
fight.
right.
I love that fight.
Nearly
as well,
stopped
man.
Cotto actually.
Yeah.
in the last
That
round.
last round.
And Cotto got onto him
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah, Cotto
That's
was
what
even
was
upset.
awesome about it.
That's why it was so impressive.
It was a great fight.
But then
He's
after,
Mayweather
after
was
that, he
nuts.
went back to Daddy, innit?
Did Mayweather?
Yeah.
For the
defense,
defense.
because he got caught a lot in that
Yeah,
fight.
yeah,
He
yeah.
got
Got a lot
get
of
cut
jabs
off.
in his face,
His
like,
nose
his
was bleeding. That was it.
Yeah.
His nose was-
And
yeah.
the
He was
Cotto
on
one
the
was
ropes.
proper.
Yeah.
That's when he
annoyed.
was like, yeah, you know what? yeah. So no, he's had some great nights, man. Some memorable nights. I think people in years to come, they'll look back on these and be like, wow, yeah, you know,
He's special.
this guy did, yeah.
Yeah.
The way he
It's
did
them
it.
Guerrero fights and
That's what
Ortiz
kills.
and-
Yeah.
That's
There's
what
two
kills
things.
me for
Fertile,
Floyd, man.
yeah.
It annoys
There's
me
two
too
things.
much.
It's
Well, every
one-
fight had them, though, you know.
Yeah.
Every fight had them.
You
It's
have
not
to
just
see
him.
them
But-
sometimes.
Look at Pacquiao. No one really said that Pacquiao was fighting Algieri and Brandon Rios and all these guys, and no one really
get
said nothing
that.
about it. So it wasn't just.
No, the
Floyd.
thing is that
And getting Floyd's leftovers as well.
Yeah, but they were
He's
still
got
top
to do that
fighters
for a while.
regardless if they were Floyd's leftovers. And I think
Yeah,
he
he
was
had
doing.
to.
I understand why he was doing that because Floyd wasn't fighting him.
Yeah.
So his thing was, okay, well, I'm going to beat the guy you beat better than you beat him. So you have to take.
And those
note.
are the only fights there for him.
Yeah, so it's
So-
I
I
understand.
feel like
yeah.
Floyd was such an A-side that he could pick anyone, and there was people saying, "Hey, Floyd."
Golden ticket.
Do you know what
man.
they did? He did.
was
He
golden
had the
ticket.
disrespect to do an online poll.
Can't deal with him.
Amir Khan or Maidana, and then they said Amir Khan, and he said, "Yeah, Maidana."
Can't deal with that.
Mocked him.
Do we think Floyd ducked anyone?
Not ducked, but he took his
Yeah,
time when he
that's-
felt it.
That's something.
Like Paul
that I've
Williams
said.
was there, Margarito
man.
was there,
Yeah,
Costa
Cotto
Tzu.
was there, Costa Tzu
I'm
was
saying
there.
duck,
yeah,
Hoisin,
Oh, he said,
yeah. There's a
Wow.
few. There's a few questionable.
Daffy. I'm
There was a
saying
few,
duck,
yeah.
man.
I don't think he
Don't
ducked
blame
anybody.
him.
I don't think he's ducked anybody
I
outright.
don't think he ducked him.
But you can be strategic with the
debatable,
way
I
in
think.
which you conduct your career.
Yeah,
Because there's some people like
I
like
respect
Riddick Bowe putting the belt
in
in
the
the
bin.
bin.
Yeah,
That's
Very different.
That was
dark.
bizarre. wasn't
That
it?
is
Yeah, yeah.
dark.
yeah.
I mean,
They
say,
want
say-
it.
okay, Canelo, Triple G, yeah?
Mm.
He, longed out the fight and he's doing it again, but he's not ducking him. He's like, oh, I
He's
don't
waiting
really,
until he
yeah,
can take.
I don't really
he's waiting
feel
until
like
he can
it.
take drugs again.
Yeah, maybe. He
He can't beat him without drugs.
Yeah.
He cannot. He's not
can't
beating
find
Triple
right.
G.
Oh, they just signed up. But between in the last 2 months, they could have been doing whatever they wanted.
Canelo
Yeah.
can't beat
Whoa.
him without additives, so
Yeah.
he's going to long that out, man.
Longing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to close on things as well with June, Crawford Horn world title shot.
Does he stop him?
at
Is the question.
147.
Hope he
Horn is a
does.
very tough-headed guy.
Yeah, you were saying this earlier.
You know what? Yeah,
as
he
well,
might have
like-
it.
You know what?
Horn, yeah, he can make it difficult. He cut your elbows, he headbutts, he's
Yeah.
rough. He's like
Terence Crawford is going
he's
to knock
dirty.
him out.
Yeah.
He's going to knock him out.
Crawford goes straight in like with a belt there, so he's
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
he
right
puts-
on the
he announces
firing
himself
line.
So
on the
it's-
what
it's,
weight scene.
The question to ask actually is
Yeah,
Horn versus Pacquiao.
yeah.
how good is Horn?
I didn't
He
I
didn't
don't
win
rate
that.
him, to be
Yeah, I
fair,
don't rate him.
that highly.
Pacquiao's
He didn't
is
win.
very, very faded, and Horn lost to him,
Definitely lost.
and Pacquiao nearly
Stopped him.
stopped him.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, to me, a Pacquiao maybe a year earlier beats him comfortably and stops him, but also Horn was getting away with a lot of shit that he shouldn't have been, and
So I mean,
ultimately-
like, is Horn better than Algieri? Like, where do we?
probably
hard to
not.
say.
He's about.
I don't rate him,
Jerry's
man.
at
the same
Yeah,
level.
I think it should be an easy win overall. You know, like
It's
if,
just
if
that-
Crawford's serious about dominating the division, then I think he has to
Stop
win
him.
comfortably.
It's
Yeah,
it's
I
just
think
the
he needs
size
to.
factor that everyone's like, oh, it's his first fight at 147. If he had a fight at 147 before, we'd be like,
Yeah, he'll
what
win.
time is Horn sleeping?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
for Pacquiao, a faded Pacquiao who can bang and whatever else, who does not want any business and hasn't for 2 years of Terence Crawford.
Yeah, you know.
To go like that with Horn, it's just
Return of the Gypsy King.
Oh,
he's
that's-
not fighting anyone.
Yeah,
Is he gonna shadow box? We're gonna pay pay-per-view for shadow boxing.
It's good to have him
Good
back.
to have him.
That's the
Yeah,
main
yeah.
thing. Let's look at the
Yeah,
big
the positive
you know,
back.
positive. It's good to have him back.
Yeah,
He needs to.
he's
It's been a while. He's had his problems. It's good to see him back in the ring. It's it's the first step.
already
It's
saying-
that's the
he's
win.
already
Before we
saying wild
shift
stuff.
to
Yeah,
Fury,
he's
though,
already. It's what he does.
what was everyone's prediction for Crawford Horn?
It's definitely
Crawford.
TC.
Yeah, but
Like,
we say
no, but what
knockout
is it?
or not.
Knockout.
I'm
You're
going
going
for
knockout.
Same, I'm going knockout. I think he's gonna
think
it's
within
gonna be a
5.
body shot.
I'd say
too.
late knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
of
body
those.
shot.
I'm
next
I'm
week,
going
don't
for
go-
late stoppage because
Late
I think
stoppage.
Horn can take a beating. I think he
Yeah,
can.
I think he'll show some toughness and resilience. I think it'll be
Yeah.
a late stoppage.
Cool.
Late
ref will have to
late
stop it.
knockout by a body shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Interesting,
saying.
Very specific.
So that's what the Oracle
What
is saying.
me?
man.
Mid rounds knockout. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter where.
Within 5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fury, we don't need to make any predictions.
No.
Yeah.
But we'll just mention
I'm
it.
so I'm so torn about Fury's return because I think he's a drug cheat on the one hand.
Right.
Fine, you didn't do your time or whatever. But I think he might be the best heavyweight still.
It's
So
still debatable.
it's exciting.
He's still unbeaten. He's
He
still,
might be the best.
He never lost
At
those
his
belts.
best, he might be. He might well be
At
the
his best, he's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Well, I'm not sure about
Well, I
that
have doubt
either.
about
it.
I have doubt about that.
I
I'm not
have
sure.
no doubt
I doubt
about
about it
that.
because his best win was against Klitschko, and everyone's hyping about it now. But it was an ugly
dead
fight.
fight.
It's dead.
He gets the job.
Stylistically,
Yeah. He's won comfortably
Stylistically,
though.
Yeah, man.
It wasn't
won
that
comfortably.
comfortable.
It was
Because
I think
comfortable.
I think it was comfortable.
He had his hands behind his back.
If he didn't
Yeah.
win, if he didn't get the decision that night, it would have been a rubber.
Bruh.
of course,
Yeah.
I feel like
I
it
know,
was.
but
That was
the
light
way
work.
the way boxing is scored, it was a comfortable victory. But
Yeah.
like when you land 2 punches and one guy lands 1 punch in a round, and
Yeah.
so like it's
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
120, 108.
Vladimir
cool.
looked
but-
so confused.
Yeah.
But this is the
let's be
thing.
real.
I think styles make fights.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so
That's what happened.
another type of fighter would not have the level of hesitation
To throw.
against Fury.
Definitely.
And Fury's chin, to me, is sus, and his defense gets sloppy. So he might not be the best heavyweight, but I think he is.
Cool.
he might be,
Interesting.
yeah.
And just to mention, like Trout, Charlo.
Oh
that's coming out.
yeah.
Santa
When's that
Cruz,
coming?
Mares.
Next
These are
weekend.
all in
Next
June.
weekend.
Flanagan for the WBO belt at 140. Moving up.
So the-
Spence.
Does anyone think that Charlo will stop Trout?
Yeah, I think so, man. Like based on Hurd stopping him, I think Charlo will take his time and just break him down again. I think that loss. That's the first time
He's ever been
Trout
stopped.
been stopped. So I think it might just be that turning point for him.
Well,
That's
can make
some
him
tough
come
fights.
back and think, nah, this ain't happening again.
I like.
That's-
Yeah,
that's-
it's true. It could be.
I see Charlo winning. I'm not sure if it's by KO.
The thing is,
Yeah, Trout's tough.
Yeah.
I
He's
actually
resilient.
think it's going to be a more comfortable performance for Charlo than it was Hurd. Like Trout will have less success than he did against Hurd because they're different fighters. Charlo's
true.
a much better boxer,
That's true.
Yeah.
and so he won't just be able to beat him with his boxing. They'll have rounds where like they're both boxing very well. But Charlo could probably get the better of that even when they're boxing,
Yeah.
and then he's got more
All the
firepower
advantages.
and
the speed,
athleticism.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bad night for Trout, but I don't think he gets. I don't think he gets stopped.
I think he might get stopped, you know.
As well.
I think he might.
You think
You reckon he gets
I
stopped?
think he might get stopped.
Please.
I think, based on the conversation we had earlier, I think that Hurd defeat might play in his corner, and I can see him getting beaten up. And I can see the corner throwing in the towel.
Can these guys
I like Hurd. Sorry, when we go Fave, when we talk about Fave, I like Hurd. Hurd got a new fan after the Lara fight. I'm not gonna lie.
That was impressive.
I like his style,
tough.
man.
He's
It's
talking
mad,
about
but
fighting
it's hard.
Kell Brook, innit? Kell Brook's just moved up. He's talking about taking him
Okay.
on. So
Yeah, he wants Brook, doesn't he? That's a tough fight for Brook.
Jared Hurd's
Brook
way.
won that.
He's a big guy. He just
he's
looks huge in there, man.
he's huge, man.
Yeah.
He's 6'1", isn't he?
He's a big don. Big don.
Yeah. So yeah, just to close, Billy Joe, Martin Murray as well.
Yeah, we know how that's gonna
Yeah,
go.
that's
Hostel versus Taylor.
Good
We
fight.
don't know how that's gonna go.
No, that'll be a good measure.
So
of stick.
if
Yeah,
Taylor
yeah.
wins, what next for Taylor?
Well, I think they're
What
talking
level?
about doing a World Boxing Super Series at 140. So you got Regis Prograis, a few other good fighters
Jesus
at
Christ,
140.
them two.
Yeah.
They're
And
like
you
a
got-
wicked fight.
You got Flanagan who's fighting for the belt.
Yeah, so
there's,
you know,
and then
yeah.
an eliminator. I believe.
Wow.
Okay.
No, he's fighting for the belt. the
TJ
WBO
Hooker,
belt.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, there's a few
Yeah, so that's
guys
good.
there. Even Garcia. Garcia won a belt and didn't he? And moved back
Oh,
down.
yeah, he moved back down.
relinquished.
140,
Yes,
yeah,
so,
the
yes.
IBF,
Something
yeah.
empty there.
He might come up for that. You never know.
Some good fights there, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they could do the Super Series, put them in there, yeah, that's a great situation to be in.
Whoever emerges from that is the man, basically.
Exactly.
100.
No,
Yeah,
nowhere
man.
to hide, yeah.
There's so much. But yeah, Yoka is.
Oh, Tony
got a
Yoka,
good
Dave
fight.
Allen, yeah, because we
Yeah.
haven't seen much of this guy. He fights in France, doesn't he? So
Yeah.
it's a shame, we
Yeah.
don't really see a lot of him, but it'll be good to see him against Dave Allen, see where he's at. Another heavyweight that can be thrown in the mix a bit down the line. Dubois, Joe Joyce, him. You know, it's some good up and coming heavyweights out there. So it'll be good to see how that goes. Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm excited to see that.
And just last of all, Santa Cruz Mares is also
We
happening.
need to see. Oh, we love that. So
Santa Cruz.
That's what I'm leaning to. Yeah.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Santa
Cruz.
Cruz has
Mares
brought his
a
game
bit.
up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But the first fight was a barn burner, so hopefully
Yeah.
we get to see
Yeah.
a bit more of the same.
Yeah.
Definitely.
More than likely.
Yeah, man. Could have went on for the whole night, but
For
you
real.
know, gotta
Yeah,
go let it
I'll
come
be
out.
in the comments talking about a know you way. We didn't have time for that. but-
Yeah.
Oh,
another
smashed him up.
Okay,
Another
that's one for the
possible.
future.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna be in my pound for pound list soon, man.
Yeah.
If he keeps
Yeah.
on
Wait,
going
who's
like
that?
Yeah.
No you way.
The
Beating
Japanese.
up-
Oh yeah.
McDonald
That
the
was-
other
that
day,
was
man. Mad
cool.
thing.
And I've seen some previous fights. Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
Proper killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah. He's got that one punch. Anyway. Yeah.
Solid.
But yeah, round 4. So it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
Round 5.
Beast mode.